Good morning, and thank you for joining me with Cold Case Mysteries After Dark. My name is Letricia, and today we're speaking on Ashley Armstrong. Ashley Armstrong was a black female who was fatally shot in New Haven on May the 16th, 2012. So at approximately 12:20 a.m., um, driving near the intersection of Shelton Avenue and Munson Street, a the 21-year-old victim was found in a black Volkswagen Jetta located near Shelton Avenue and Munson Street. Okay. Um, the autopsy determined that she had been shot several times. Okay. Um, the gunman opened fired on her car in the city of New Hallville neighborhood. Okay. A family member described her as being a bright, smile, positive attitude, and comforting nature, and a ball of sunshine. Um, they stated that she can be going through the roughest time in life, but still find a way to smile and make sure that people around her were comfortable. Okay, sorry. So Ashley Armstrong, she graduated in 2009 from Danbury High School in New Haven. She was visiting friends the night that she was killed, said the police. Okay. Who also stated the gunman shot at her car minutes after it turned onto Shelton Avenue. Um, Stephen Armstrong, which is a relative of Ashley, stated that he was told that they had to park on the side of the street to type in a location to get back home. And it happened in a matter of minutes of them doing that. Ashley found, the officers found Ashley slumped over in the driver's seat. The police stated that she was shot several times and transported to the hospital where she was pronounced deceased at 12:27 a.m. Um, Her family stated that, they can remember it like it was yesterday. A friend called them like around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and was like, I have to come and pick you up. Ashley is in the hospital. And they was like, what do you mean Ashley's in the hospital? It was like stunned to them. Like she went to go have fun with friends. And then all of a sudden they get a call that Ashley is in the hospital. Um, the police don't believe that Ashley was the intended target of the shooting, and they don't believe, based on the evidence reviewed then and now. So, 5 shell casings were recovered at the scene. Um, Cameras were in the area, but none of them captured the incident itself. Um, Officers stated that there were three passengers in Ashley's car at the time of the shooting, but none of them were injured. Um, as to whether of any of them were the intended target, that's still questionable. Um, they can't defectively say that they were or they weren't. Okay. They said that they heard the gunshots, but didn't see anyone outside the car. Okay. And this was stated by passengers in the car. Okay. It was dark outside, and there were barely any street light. So I'm gonna begin to tell you um, the story of Ashley, um, her life, a little bit of her life that she lived, and how it came to this point, to her up into her murder. So Ashley, she was a nursing student, and she was a nursing student at the Naugatuck Valley Community College, and she worked as a certified nursing assistant at the healthcare center where she lived. Okay. As they stated, she loved taking care of people, and she had a knack for it. She loved it. It was like a passion for her. Um, as they stated, it's still shocking that you can be doing so well and moving forward with life, and then it's just cut so short because you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that's how a lot of these cases are. You wrong place, wrong time. Um, as I stated, I don't like calling these cases cold cases because these are still active cases. They are just stagnant at the moment, just lacking information or lacking evidence. Um, Lack of cooperation. Just need that one piece of the puzzle to get the case solved. Okay. And that's something that these cases have been lacking. And it could be just that one piece of evidence that can actually, excuse me, that is, it can be that one piece of evidence that can actually drive this case home. And nobody don't want to talk. People are being silent. Um, but my thing is, when you need to be silent, you don't. When you need to talk, you're silent. I don't understand. Actually, homicide may be deemed a cold case by the state, but New Haven Police Department classified it as active, as it being no way remotely as cold. And you don't want to tell a family member that their loved one's cases are cold, because that's giving them the impression that no one's looking at it, no one cares, and there's no hope for it. I took on doing cold cases because I want family to feel that there's hope and that someone do care, and that the case will be solved. I am very much like Ashley. Ashley is very much like me. I have a knack for people. I love people. And I mean, that's whether they're here or they're gone. Um, it's just sad that we lose people, innocent people, in such a ways, and we can't get the justice that we need for them due to lack of cooperation. Now, the detectives have been conducting some very crucial interviews, and lack of cooperation has played a very big part in their investigation from people who have information. Whether they were involved or not will be the reason to why this case has not been solved. And that goes back to saying, if you know something, say something. If you know what happened to this young lady, say something. Why are you holding information that can bring light to this family? This family is grieving over their loved one. This young lady lost her life innocently over what? Innocent bystander. Um, Wrong place, wrong time. Mistaken identity, perhaps. I mean, it just don't make sense. And I'm going to throw some things out there and that I researched to hope in hopes that we can bring and shine some light onto this case. I have forwarded some of this information to the police department, and hopefully that we can get some closure. So I was doing some research, and I ran upon this particular person. They stated that they known her or they know her, and they've been knowing her since um, forever. They actually witnessed Ashley's murder from start to finish. They stated that they gave the cops full statement only to the street though, not at the station, and not an actual official statement where you write it, where you write everything out and signed it. This is what they said, and I quote, but they really didn't seem interested in the details, probably because she was the second murder victim out of three murders that took place in New Haven over a 24-hour period. After 3 to 4 days, I called the detective who had given me his card, but he never returned my call. A few weeks after, I actually ran into a New Haven police officer who was one of the first on the scene and asked him about the case, and he just brushed me off. This case haunts me, and I still have PTSD because of it. So, if you're really serious about pursuing it, I might be willing to have an initial conversation. Now, this person has information, but he or she do not want their information on paper. He or she do not want to go to the police department. So this is what I'm saying, that you have vital information that can possibly solve a case that you're holding on to. Why? If she was so much of a friend to you, why are you holding on to this information? If she meant so much to you, why are you letting her die in vain? Why are you letting the family suffer? And you witness her murder from start to finish. These are your words. You witness her murder from start to finish. So if you witness her murder from start to finish, do you know who did it? Did you have something to do with who did it? Like, take this information that you know to the police. If you can say this on social media, on the website, you can say this to the police. Whether they want to hear it or not, you're getting it off of your chest. You're telling them what you know. That's not it, though. She, she or he stated that she don't mind talking to someone, but she want to make sure that it's the right someone, but she don't want to talk to the police. She would give her story. She would give the information that she know, but she feel as if the police have brushed her off and they're going to continue to brush her off. So therefore, she don't want to talk to them anymore. And I mean, I feel like that's sad. If you know something, say something. So Ashley was with four other young ladies. They were socializing with some men outside of a house at 84 Shelton Avenue. One of the men worried that they were going to wake up his grandmother, so the group decided to take the gathering elsewhere. And the men got into one car and the women got into the other car, following one another. As they started off, a gunman opened fire, striking Armstrong. She's from Derby. Danbury. Danbury. Sorry. She's from Danbury. So, what could she have possibly done to anyone who lives in New Haven? Asked Patrick Kelly of 84 Shelton Avenue. His nephew was among the young people congregating outside the house. He wondered whether it was an attempt robbery or attempted carjacking or even gang initiation, although he acknowledged that was speculation. All it is allegedly. I have no idea why, Kelly stated. They were just talking. Everything was peaceful. So if these young people was outside socializing with some young men, it was young men and women, if they were just outside socializing, 9 times out of 10, the gunman was watching them the whole time. So why not just walk up to whomever that you wanted to shoot and just shoot whomever you wanted to shoot? Makes sense, right? Um, but that's not what happened. Okay. The killing happened less than 12 hours after another. A 20-year-old was shot and killed 2 neighborhoods away. I also did an article on him as well. I didn't do a video on him, but I did do an article on him. I wrote about him. I did a case on him that I haven't brought to the forefront. His case was solved. Um, and I'm actually bring those two cases together because the same time he got shot, she got shot 12 hours after. And it was like right around the corner from each other. So another 20-year-old was shot and killed 2 neighborhoods away near the Wally Avenue stop and shop. I think I talked about this particular case. Um, that particular case. It was a young man. He was at the. It was a young man. He was at the store, at the laundromat, waiting on his brother to get off work, and someone just came up and shot him in the face. And that particular night, 12 hours later, not even 12 hours later, that's when Ashley got killed, right around the corner from where the young man got killed. Okay, so officers stated that the latest shooting happened just after midnight on Shelton Avenue. The victim was operating the car with 4 females passengers when shots rang out. The two vehicles continued about a block and a half to the corner of, remember it said Munson Street and Shelton Avenue, in front of the country store or the country market. Okay. So police said that the investigation is in its early stage. At this time, the investigation was at an early stage, and that the occupants of the 2 cars were cooperative. All right. So Armstrong had no criminal record, according to the judicial database, and no one in the group was well known to the police. So nobody in that group of young people had any run-ins with the police. So basically, they saying to themselves, what could have possibly gone wrong? Who could have possibly targeted these young people? They don't know. Like they didn't have any run-ins with the law. So what could be possibly the situation? What could possibly have gone wrong? Okay. Okay, as they said, Armstrong had no criminal record, nor did the other people who was with Armstrong. The resident said, one of the residents said that the son was woken up by the gunshots. They expressed frustration about poor lighting on Shelton, and enough gunshots that basically she moved her daughter from her front bedroom into the room with her husband in fear of her daughter being injured one day. That's how bad the shooting is in that area. Like shots are ringing out basically every day. Um, like the resident said, stray bullets don't have a name and it can hit anybody, which is so true. So true, so true, so true. So Ashley homicide was the fifth homicide of the year compared to 13 at that point last year. Um, I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Sorry, guys. Got the sniffles. Um, it was also one of the cases that I also um, investigated, the Tyrell Trimble case, which was also solved. Um, the city's fourth homicide victim of the year. He was fatally shot on M Street in the city of Dwight section shortly after 1 p.m. Tuesday. No arrests have been made in either case. Um, so basically, this is just how how bad I'm not how bad the violence is in Connecticut. How bad the violence is in Norwalk. This is New Haven. In New Haven, Norwalk is bad as well. I mean, I have so many cases on these in Connecticut. Is crazy, and we're definitely going to get to those sometime today. Um, and it's just crazy. I'm sorry, not to stagger too much off of Ashley Armstrong's case, but it just goes to show that a lot of these cases, I'm not going to say that they intertwine together, but they happen so close together. They happen hours and right behind each other. To it's just not funny. It's not funny. So the assistant police chief at the time, Archie Gennarcio, Generso, at 12:17 a.m., two women from the Danbury, two from New Haven, and one from New York. What is wrong? What's wrong? Hi. Sorry. Um, two women from Danbury, two from New Haven, and one from New York. Um, they met up with four men, as I stated, in a Chevy Impala outside of 84 Shelton. Um, they knew one of the guys in the vehicle. They met up with them to party. Okay. The gunshots that erupted did not come from inside the vehicle. So it did not come from inside the vehicle. So nobody inside neither one of the vehicles shot Armstrong. Okay. They don't know who fired the shots. They have a vague description of the assailants. Armstrong drove away from the scene, down Shelton Avenue towards downtown New Haven. So remind you, she was able to drive a block and a half after she was shot. Nobody knew that she was shot until that car came to a stop. Okay. The car stopped across the street from the county market at the crossing of Shelton, Dixwell, Mason, and Orchard. Okay. Police initially all alerted by the shop spotted computerized system, then by 911 calls. Found Armstrong in the front seat of the car. None of the passengers were hurt. She was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced deceased at 12:37 a.m. County Market was closed at the time. The next morning, as detectives fanned out through the New Hallville neighborhood, they paid a visit to the market owner, Mr. Yazzer. They asked Yazzer if he had a video footage of the incident. He told them no, because his surveillance system covers just the inside of the store. Yazzer told them, this is the hottest intersection of New Haven. Um, as he waited on a steady stream of customers who was just beginning to hear and share unverified tidbits about the homicide. So people was basically talking. People was talking. But as the investigators and the detectives stated, people was talking, but people don't want to talk. They don't want to talk to them. They don't want to give out information to them. So my thing is, why hold on to this information if you don't want to give the information who need it the most? Like, why are y'all holding on to this information? Like, for what? What good is it going to do you? Like I stated in several of my um, segments, you may as well have pulled the trigger yourself if you're holding on to information that can help someone solve this crime. You may as well pull the trigger yourself. It don't make sense. It really don't make sense. So the 12-hour shooting that happened 12 hours before Armstrong shooting, that was the shooting of Tribble. Tribble was the young man who I stated that was who lost his life that Tuesday shortly before 1 p.m. So basically, a mass gunshot A masked gunman shot Tribble at M Street and Kingston Street, where he often hang out outside of the laundromat. So he was outside of the laundromat at the Stop and Shop Plaza where his brother worked. And he was out there waiting for his brother to get off of work. And this mass shooter came up, shot the young man, and went on about his business. People were standing out there, like literally. People were standing out there. This man was in across the street at home, and he said that he heard the gunshot. Trimble ran across the street where he fell. The man ran out of his house, told his wife to call 911. The ambulance came and they took Trimble to the hospital, but he was dead. He was deceased. Trimble's brother was at work during this time. People was outside when the van pulled up and the masked gunman got out the car and shot the young man. Officers asked them, did they see anything? Did they know anything? They blatantly sat right there and said no. But you clearly saw, you saw what kind of car it was. You saw, even though you may not seen his face, but you saw the man, you saw the person. And you blatantly told the officers, no, you didn't see anything. That's crazy. This is what we mean by withholding information. It don't make sense. It do not make sense. Just like this person, this she or he, who knows, as they stated, was there, who saw Ashley Armstrong murder from start to finish. Start to finish. Either she was with the assailants who shot at Armstrong car, or she know who done it, or they know who done it. I don't know if it was a she or he. I don't know. I can't say. I don't know because I don't know the name. I don't know if it's a she or he. So I'm gonna stop saying she. But they know. So if you know something, say something. It don't make sense to hold on to information that is not helping you. What are you gaining from it? What are you gaining from holding this information? What are you gaining from holding this information? You would gain a lot turning this information over to the police. You would gain a lot bringing justice to this family. You would gain a lot shine a light onto these victims. If you know something, say something. My name is Latricia. This has been the segment of Ashley Armstrong, a young lady who was violently shot down in her car, basically innocent young lady. Wrong place, wrong time. Gone too soon. If you know something, say something. Let your voices be heard. There are many ways that you can go into this confidentially without anybody knowing who said what. And if you feel as if that your life is at stake, let them know. Something can be done by it. But do not take this to your grave. Do not allow somebody to be the ruler of your life by withholding this information over your head. My name is Lee Tricia. Thank you so much for joining my show. This is Cold Case Mysteries After Dark. And today we covered Ashley Armstrong. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace, love, and blessings. Great day.